chilling in Alaska, swimming in Atlanta, roaches out in Emo, Akira, Carolina, they wildin' in Chicago, Highland down in Whitney, Mile High in Denver, that Tallahassee crowd is deep, they lunching in Vancouver, Desperados shooting, the renegades on the loose, the hyenas looting, gold out in QC, who higher than them sparrows, the Furies swooping in divine order for the pharaohs, Indy on the rise, the Sharks about to mash, gladiators, knights and Aztecs about to clash. Welcome to my playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. Now welcome to my playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. First and 10, I'm so aggressive. The end zone, the game plan, no pressure. They gotta pay me how they measure me. You know these haters on my back like the referee. You know I'm in it to win it. Game day, I'm about my business, I gotta get it. So I'm all about my ends. And these non-stop wins. They can't touch us, can't touch us. We turning up on these suckers. You know the D brought the rockets. Cause we tighter than the huddles. Welcome to the playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. Now welcome to my playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. Third down is going down. Round and pound, oh, we gotta air them out. That's why I gotta hit the route. Hit the flat, if I catch it, then I'm out. Fourth and inches gotta take it. YOLO, just no pump fake. So tighten up and hit the power high. The audible and draw them off side.
What a move by Varner. Varner makes a man miss. Shan Varner is going to score. One of the best plays in Varner's illustrious career.
Let me remind folks here, Shan Varner, a 6'6" tight end with this nimble move.
Hart breaks a tackle. Hart 20 down to the 17-yard line. Best run of the day for Colin Hart. And Sioux Falls has grabbed some momentum off the Nyberg interception. 7:54 to go in the second. Jay Ayola shakes it. Oh my goodness, Ayola gets away. Jay Ayola on the first play for Tallahassee is going to score again. Pass is intercepted by Jeffrey Daggs and returned up to the 11-yard line. And the Aztecs away. Odom makes another tackle. Ash Odom, you've got to be kidding me. Big chase and one touchdown. Oh my God. We now know one. Who will be the other? Will it be a rematch of a Season 6 playoff game that will go down in infamy and Houston's first trip back to the SFL championship game in 2.5 years? Or will it be the Alaska Storm, the undefeated defending champions, taking on Tallahassee in a rematch of all rematches? This is the SFL semifinals from the Eye of the Storm, and it starts right now. Welcome to Anchorage, Alaska, a beautiful 45-degree Monday late afternoon. Everybody's off of work. The Storm are back on the field, going for another championship. With Nathan Blake on Live Stats, Stephen Mullinex, I am Cameron Irvine. How you doing, Stephen?
Doing wonderful, Cam. Great to be here. The SFL playoffs, this is what it's all about. For the Alaska Storm, the juggernaut of the league, 12-0. They haven't lost a game since week 7 of season 10. That's the San Francisco of all the teams. And it's going to be a mighty big job for the Houston Hyenas to try and come in here and give them their first L of the season here in the playoffs.
Mighty, I see what you did there, as Houston and Alaska meet at midfield, and Kentez Johnson, the rookie, started out as a meme, but has really turned things on his rookie season, and he is the last rookie quarterback standing. Alaska wins the toss. They want the football, and we are about to get underway in the second game of the SFL semifinals doubleheader. And that means the ball's on the tee, and the Houston Hyenas are all set to go. Houston, run up to that ball and kick it. We're underway. From the 10, this is Jeff Como, and Como out to the 30-yard line. And we are ready to go with the ever-efficient Ron Cochran.
Cam had an opportunity to talk to Alaska Storm owner and head coach Max Paul on the team's offensive philosophy versus Houston. Paul told me the key to the game for the Storm offensively will be the play of quarterback Ron Cochran. As we see there, Alaska wants their QB1 to spread the love tonight. Let's see if he does it here on the first series.
2 backs and 2 receivers with a heavy set up front as Cochran flips it outside. Caught by Klein, pick up a 5. Houston loading the box there, at least for that opening play. Houston, this is their 5th time in Alaska. They have not won. They have not beaten the Storm in the eye, but 3 of the 4 previous times were separated by 3 or 2 points.
Yeah, the last time these two teams faced back in season 10, Houston at Alaska. Alaska with the win 40-37 in week 9. A very close matchup.
2nd and 5 at the 34, and Cochran will throw. That pass is knocked up in the air and incomplete. Eddie Gage was the defender on the play. 3rd down.
Yeah, I actually got an opportunity to talk to Eddie Gage, who's also the defensive coordinator for the Hyenas. Gage told me he loves the flexibility of the cover 3, but admits that he has to switch things up when he goes up against a guy like Max Paul in the Alaska Storm. Gage says him and Paul know each other really well and expect some wrinkles from both sides tonight.
10:37 to go in the first. 3rd down and 5. Cochran going to throw. Cochran over the middle. Caught. 1st down. Jason Julian, who got hurt the last time these two teams played, moves the chains to the 41.
And Julian, probably the best tight end in the SFL that is not signed to a contract. So a role-playing tight end that's actually a starter and replacing Yassine Clifton, the breakout star tight end from last season, who now, ironically, plays for Houston.
And Alaska's got Houston's linebacker, DJ Majesty. So a couple of players trading sides, and they're back where they started. Basically, it's a 1st down again for Ron Cochran. He has started 3 for 4, moves it to the Houston 48.
When you're talking about Ron Cochran, you're talking about a championship quarterback who is a game manager in every great sense of that term. He will spread the ball around. He works through his progressions. He uses multiple receivers.
Cochran going to throw again. Ron Cochran outside, caught by Optimus Klein, and Houston really bent but didn't break last week against Chicago, and that may be their strategy here again tonight. Just wait for Alaska to make a mistake, because Cochran's been making some of those here recently.
Well, the first thing head coach and owner of the Houston Hyenas, DeMond Simeon, wanted me to share was the fact that they respect Alaska, but they are not afraid of them. They're going to go after them defensively, and the number 1 priority for them is stopping the passing game.
3 receivers, and back to pass is Cochran, and Cochran fires it down. Oh, what a catch! What a catch by Jeff Como at the last minute. Stopped me mid-sentence.
Woo! Como, 6'6", 215 pounds, but he may be the greatest number 3 option we've ever seen in the SFL. This guy's got 85 receptions for 1,103 yards and 9 touchdowns on the season.
Cochran again, this time out to Stanley Nordellis, who got a 1st down out to the 20. And Mighty talked about how he wanted to mix it up. That is the 5th different receiver that's caught 6 different Ron Cochran completions.
And Cam, the one thing they're not doing, they are not running the ball. We have not seen a single running play, and they have one of the most exciting rookies in fullback, Jason Williams, really showcased his ability early in the season. nothing from him yet here.
1st and 10 of the 20. Cochran back to pass again against a 4-man rush. Flips it out to Williams. That is the check that. Nordellis picks up 4. Ryan Michaels, the outstanding corner on the outside, making the tackle, and Houston trying to force more field goals like they did last week against the Wildcats.
And you can just see how comfortable Cochran is in this offense. There's no pressure happening on him. He's got all day to make his throws and read his progressions. A true general under center.
Trips left, back to pass. Cochran, play action, wide open. Pass caught down inside the 3 to the 2. Robert Merrill wrapped up by Michaels before the touchdown, but Cochran is surgical here early.
And why would you fall for the play action when the team hasn't run a single rushing attempt yet in this game? But it works to perfection. It opens up Merrill, who may be the most consistent receiver here in the league.
Just when you think they're going to run, right? Because you
Right.
you definitely want to stop Jason Williams if you can. They might run it here, split back sets, and Houston 7 in the box. And they hand it off to Williams, and Williams walks in the end zone. Touchdown, Alaska, just like Tallahassee scoring on their first drive of the semifinals.
Well, that's his 9th touchdown of his rookie season. Jason Williams averaging a whopping 4.4 yards per carry. So this 2-yarder to the end zone is nothing for the big fella. 6'3", 235 pounds, speed of a running back, and the 20th overall pick in last season's SFL draft.
Puts the rookie down early, and that was the 10th play of the drive. And a stellar start for the Alaska Storm here on the road. Extra point for Brad Bretchett. Good. And it's 7-0 Alaska on top of Houston. Well, you were watching from the booth here in Alaska, the opening game. What did you think of Tallahassee winning that nail-biter over Mexico City 13-10?
I think that Mexico City did a good job of making Tallahassee play their style of football. They really strangled what has been a powerhouse offense here in the SFL. And you had a feeling that Tallahassee, by losing their last 2 games, was losing their identity a bit. But now showing up in a big way in big game. What just a terrific game for everyone to watch.
Josh Fed from the goal line out of the 24-yard line. And now Kentez Johnson. You remember the preseason meme, but he has been nothing but an outstanding and improved quarterback as Houston has won 6 straight.
Yeah, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, 3,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, 23 interceptions, number 3 in the league in completion percentage, completing 72% of his passes.
2 backs and 3 receivers. They start with a handoff to Murray, and Murray's going to lose a yard. Warren Murray, they've had a little bit more of a tough time this year getting going, and they're trying to feed him early.
Yeah, absolutely right, Cam. Kind of a down year for him numbers-wise. 886 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns, but he did have 73 receptions for 3 touchdowns as well. So he's being used more as a receiver out of the backfield than a primary rusher.
Out of the gun, Kentez Johnson changing the play. 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Down a touchdown early on the road. Flip outside, caught by Fed. Makes the 3rd down more manageable. 7 to be exact, with 6:58 to go in the first.
Yeah, head coach and owner DeMond Simeon told me Houston wants to abuse Alaska's front 7 by running the football and utilizing tight end Yassine Clifton more. They believe Clifton is the key to winning this game. Hasn't got a target yet.
And they can't let Alex Dominguez take over. Out of the gun, 3rd down and 7 at the 26. That is where he feeds. Just 5 in the box. Dominguez got caught up a little bit, and that pass is caught by Fed. 2nd catch for Josh Fed, and a 1st down for the Hyenas as the center wrapped up Alex Dominguez and held him from making a big play in the backfield.
Well, DeMond can't speak high enough of Fed. Just absolutely loves this kid and making a big play there. But that was a scheme open right there. They had that trips over to the left, and they just sent those receivers in all different directions. Alaska's defense had a tough time tracking the receivers.
1st down, Hyenas. Johnson going to throw again, back to pass. Short throw, caught in traffic. DJ Majesty, who defends the flats so well, coming over, but Yassine Clifton makes his first catch against his former team, a 7-yard gain.
Yeah, I actually had a chance to talk to Clifton as well, and He tells me he loves his old team. He loves the fact that they're facing his old team here in the playoffs. He thinks Max Paul is a great coach, and they think the defense here will give them problems today.
Warren Murray's first run since the 1-yard loss. He picks up 2 as a couple of players, including Hernandez from the secondary, takes him down. 3rd down and 1 now, halfway through the first quarter. You got to feel like this is a big momentum play for the Hyenas.
Yeah, and I've got to think that they're going to try and call Murray's number here. 132 yards and 3 touchdowns in his lone playoff appearance this season.
7 in the box. Hand off Murray. Murray running right. Got a block. First down. Warren Murray to the 49-yard line. 4-yard gain. His best run of the night. A.J. Francis makes the stop. And Houston continues the drive.
Well, that is one way to slow down Alaska's potent and explosive offense. Keep them off the field. And you do that by running the football and stringing these first downs together.
2 backs, 2 receivers trying to avoid those those 2nd and 3rd and long situations. And Warren Murray spins back inside and picks up 3 yards. And I'm not sure that Houston is looking for Warren Murray to have an explosive game, put the team on his back. But they do want him to make it easier on Kentes.
Yeah, and one of those ways is being sure that Kentes doesn't feel a lot of pressure. And you keep those blitzes and hopefully keep, big, sexy Alex Dominguez away from penetrating the line as much if you can steadily run the ball with success.
This is the 8th play of the drive. Back to pass. Over to Murray, and Murray's not going much of anywhere. 3rd and 8. A.J. Francis makes the stop, and another critical 3rd down coming up for Houston. This is already the 3rd down they've faced this evening.
Well, Max Paul had nothing but glowing things to say about the opposing rookie quarterback in Kentes Johnson. Called him simply awesome and tremendously poised for a rookie.
Out of the gun, 4 wide, 2 to either side. Johnson trying to keep the drive alive, steps into the pocket, he's going down. Kentes Johnson not going to get out of the grasp of Alex Dominguez, and the 9-play drive falls flat for Houston.
Well, when the big fella's coming, there's not much you can do. And that little turn out of the pocket is not going to trick the guy that recorded a whopping 38.5 sacks on the season.
An SFL and professional football record as Dominguez was unbelievable this season. He's been in the league a long time, has led the league in sacks, but nothing like he was able to turn in this season. And a defensive tackle, no less, not even outside, where most of the success occurs around the league. This is a pretty good punt all the way down to the 20-yard line, and not a lot of room for Como, who will fight his way up to the 25. And that's actually Hatt returning the punt. Boy, you just see everything.
Yeah, you see some names that we haven't seen all season. All of a sudden here in the playoffs get their numbers called. But for Alaska, they're in great position. Put 7 on the board in the first series, a defensive stop, and now here they are in their second series, maybe to extend the lead.
First and 10 of the 25, and Nordellis gets the handoff and loses 3. Didn't think I'd see Nordellis take a handoff before Jason Williams, but Houston all over that as Smith wraps him up.
Well, Eddie Gage told us, expect some wrinkles from Max Paul, because this defensive coordinator and this head coach, they know each other really well. So they're going to try to throw some things in here, some monkey wrenches, to try and mess up each other's game plans.
2nd and 13 at the 22. 3 receivers, 2 to the right, and Cochran fires. Pass caught near a first down. 3rd and short. Jeff Como again.
And we just see the experience of the quarterback and these wide receivers. And, we don't talk enough about the chemistry that happens between the quarterback and the receivers, Cam, and being able to keep these receivers on from this championship team has been huge.
They're going to throw. Cochran, deep ball. It's incomplete. Really tight coverage down the field on Optimus Klein, and that gets Alaska's offense off the field.
Yeah, Houston's defensive coordinator told me that Alaska's passing game is their biggest concern, but Houston's secondary absolutely must keep a body on Optimus Klein at all times. They're scared of the big fella.
For the first time today, we finally got it fixed. Well, at least I thought I did. Boy, we just can't welcome you into the broadcast booth tonight. It has been a rough go. Oh,
well,
sorry about that.
The game's exciting. So
the game is
there
exciting.
we go.
From the 29-yard line, look at the room for Fed there out of the 36. 2:01 left to go in the first. Back-to-back stops by both defenses, and Kentez, Warren Murray and company get another chance, and DR Sims still waiting for his first catch.
Yeah, and I know that Houston wants to run the ball, and I'd like to see a little bit more Kentez Johnson and see if he can spread the ball out and get the ball to a person like Clifton, their tight end.
Out of the gun, split backs. Johnson, he's going to throw. Kentez Johnson pump fake, now fires deep ball down the field and way overthrew DR Sim. And Johnson may have just been playing that conservatively, as that would have been a jump ball that Sim may have not won, as Ryan Davidson, an outstanding corner out there in coverage.
Well, it's hard to argue when you throw a 50-50 ball there. It's single man coverage there, and then you're just trusting your veteran wide receiver who's been in this league forever in DR Sim. This is actually his 7th season to go up there and get it. But as you mentioned, the ball just thrown a little bit too far out.
Back to throw. Johnson caught. Oh, DR Sim on a dime. Rolls. Oh, he said you got to challenge that. Rolled on the back of the defender, and it looked like from here picked up the first down.
Avoids close, 3rd and inches. Not sure they want to challenge this early in the game and possibly lose that challenge for later. Probably, Cam, I would think Warren Murray's number was called here, although they're in the shotgun.
Johnson going to throw. Johnson steps up in the pocket. Deep ball down the field is incomplete, and the lack of challenge may have left the drive stall. And Steven, I saw that from clear up here. There was no question in my mind that Sim rolled over the defender and got the first.
Yeah, confusing play call. Warren Murray's been running so well for you in the playoffs. Surely you trust him to get inches. You trust him on another 3rd down conversion, and here they are on 4th down. Will they hike it?
They might try him here from their own 46 on the road. 1:26 to go. Oh, and they're going to burn the time. Just challenge it then. If you're willing to burn the timeout, and that is a rough series of plays for Houston.
Yeah, no doubt. Game management and decision making in question a little bit there, and as you said, they were on their side of the 50, and SFL teams tend not to want to risk it until they're on that other side of the 50 in enemy territory. If they were maybe 10 yards further ahead, I think they go for that. Here, they just settle for playing a little bit more of the field position game.
That is a missed opportunity for Houston, although, we didn't know what the drive would end up being, but it stalls out in their own territory, and the second punt for Houston of the quarter, down 7-0 after their defense got a stop. From the 17-yard line, not much there for Storm special teams, as Ron Cochran will start from the 19-yard line, and Houston at least winning the early field position battle.
And Cam, let's remember that Houston does have a rookie quarterback under center. They only allowed him to throw 25 times in their previous playoff matchup. He did complete 22 of those 25, though, so pretty accurate.
Cody SFL with the 200 bits cheered. Appreciate your support of the league. 1:18 to go in the first. Cochran going to throw. Cochran's pass caught. First down to the sideline, Optimus Klein. And if you missed the first broadcast for whatever reason, we are doing logo teasers at the end of each quarter. And now, they said he didn't make the catch, and now Mighty's going to challenge.
Wow. Okay. Well,
I don't blame him.
Someone's telling him up in the booth there to make that challenge call. Let's see how close he was here to the out of bounds line.
I thought he got it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty routine as well. Yeah, I think that's. I think that's a catch. Excuse me.
Oh, the play stands. Hey, is that a makeup call or what? From not giving him the first down. That is horrendous, and already, unfortunately, officiating playing a big part here in the first quarter after a pretty clean game from Tallahassee and Mexico City early.
Well, the stripes may be confusing NFL rules with SFL. You only need 1 foot in here in the SFL on the sidelines, 2 feet normally in the end zone. opposite its 2 feet in the NFL, and I was for sure he got at least one in.
Dopes. Cochran, 2nd and 10. Whoa, that was scary. Dropping that one into a bucket of hyenas, but just out of the reach of everybody. Not sure if there was miscommunication there on the receiver because he was definitely putting that to a spot.
And I think that intended receiver was Williams out of the backfield. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw him grab his quad as he was going for that ball. So it might have got a little stretch there in the leg and a little cramp there.
3rd and 10 now for Cochran, and Cochran will just flip it out short, running out of room. Houston gets a stop deep in Alaska territory, and the Hyenas defense has come up with a couple of big plays.
I typically don't like throwing in front of the sticks on 3rd down, Cam, but there was an opportunity there. They had 2 wide receivers in the same area. One could catch the ball, one could block, and that could go on for a big gain. Instead, the receiver's momentum takes them out of bounds.
So Alaska will punt for the 2nd time, and we don't often see back-to-back punts from June Tutu as the Storm get it away. This is Fed on the return from the 38-yard line, and 0 yardage. They gave him 2. That's generous. Out to the 40, maybe a make-up call and a half there for the officials. Storm up 7. Who's going to face Tallahassee in the 11th championship game?
Yeah, and if it's Alaska, then we got a rematch of the Season 10 championship game where the Storm were able to overtake the Pride to win the cup.
It would be the first championship game rematch in SFL history, and that pass is complete. DR Sim with the sliding play down to the Storm, 41.
Yeah, DR Sim's been doing it a long time, and there is just something magical about this player. You could talk about his workout, you could talk about his build, you could talk about the offense that he's in, the coaching that he receives, but regardless of all of that, there is just something special about this player who has come up big in several situations. Wouldn't surprise me if he's a key for Houston tonight to pull out a big victory.
Out of the gun, Kentez going to throw again. Out to Murray. He's got some space. Oh, Warren Murray stopped in his tracks immediately by Andrew Francis. His 2nd tackle, pickup of 3 yards. That ends the first quarter of play. A fast-moving first quarter of play. Word from our sponsors, Logo Tees coming right up. This is the SFL semifinals on YouTube, presented by APM Music, and we're back to the eye after these messages. The SFL is presented by APM Music, MediaTek Institute, Show Business Studios, Richards Printworks, Score Streams, Spy Goat, Matt Doyle Designs, and now Bit Central. And if you missed that announcement earlier tonight, we will discuss it at halftime again. Very excited for Bit Central's partnership for the championship game and hopefully beyond, as DR Sim gets the Hyenas 1 yard away from a first down in field goal range.
And here we go again, Cam, facing a short 3rd and 1. Last time they were in the position, they went into the shotgun and decided to throw the ball. Here, they're going into, they're spreading out 4 with a tight end.
4 wide for Johnson on 3rd and 1. Johnson going to throw, quickly caught, first down to the 31-yard line. They know what they're doing. Badir Ajlani with his first catch. And, I mean, there is a method to that madness if you can get the quick pass game going and take Dominguez completely out of the play.
That's right. You're basically using the other receivers as a decoy to clear out on that short out, and it worked to perfection there and got just enough for the first down.
First down to the Storm 31. Handoff to Murray. Breaks a tackle. Warren Murray gets out. Murray down to the 15, 14-yard line. 17-yard pickup for Warren Murray, his best run of the night.
Well, Cam, Murray had 3 touchdowns in his previous playoff game This is a guy they want to get the ball into his hands because at times he is a stampeding rhino in a football jersey. This guy will take on everyone, as you see there. The entire Alaska defense, it looks like, and able to get his best gain of the night.
Murray's numbers, 5 carries, 25 yards. Shout out to Swole 2011, who cheered 1,200 bits. He's ready for season 12. Mr. 23 now top of the leaderboards. 1745 cheered bits this week as Warren Murray gets 7 more down to the Storm's 7-yard line, and Houston keeping Alaska's offense off the field. They now have 17 plays compared to Alaska's 16.
And Houston there, just a great job of blocking for Murray. Went completely untouched until he gained that entire 7 yards.
2nd and 3 from the 7. 9:15 to go first half. Handoff Murray. Murray cuts back inside. Spins into the end zone. Touchdown. Houston, extra point away from tying.
Cam, that is an art form right there. Knowing when to do that little spin and to do it in so much traffic is amazing. Gets underneath the number 30 there, the defender, gets underneath his arm with the spin move. Got that nose for the end zone, Cam. That's why he splashed 3 times last week. Here, gets his first splash in Alaska.
Warren Murray and the Houston Hyenas settle things down. The defense gets back-to-back punts. And the Hyenas can tie the game here on the extra point. And that kick is up and good. 7-7. We're all square. So we mentioned 5 times Houston has had to come to Alaska. Alaska's only been to Houston twice, and one of those games was a 1-point game. So this is the 7th meeting all time between these two teams. Alaska's 6-0, but 4 of those victories by 3 points or less in what has been a nail-biting but one-sided, I wouldn't call it a rivalry, but these two teams very familiar with one another.
Right. Although it's been dominating in the standings, Alaska's not necessarily a dominant team every night. They've had to scratch and claw to get what they have. I talked to Optimus Klein. He told me it's been a great season for this team, but it means absolutely nothing if it doesn't end with a championship. So Klein and this group has their eyes on another prize.
Cochran's 10 of 14 for 84 yards to start the night. Murray 7 carries, 39 yards. Play action. Williams still doesn't have a carry. Pass caught by Klein. Easy one-handed grab. I say that sarcastically with his 7-yard pickup to the 36 and into Kentes Johnson and the Hyena bench.
Yeah, Klein's very confident about the play tonight. He did admit that Houston's a great organization, has some great players, and expects them to give everything they got in a shootout. But Klein also added he checked the weather forecast, and there's a big storm on the horizon. So big words coming out of Alaska's locker room.
2nd and 3 at the 36, 8:50 to go. Play action again from Cochran. Pass is incomplete as a linebacker there. It may have been Lovelace. Hutchinson with the deflection, but I think Lovelace hit Williams, taking advantage of the ball being tipped. 3rd down again.
Yeah, you can only do that play action so long and not run the ball before the defense is going to key in on it and recognize that it's going to be a play. So they were playing the pass the entire time, even though they were showing play action.
Trips right. 7 in the box for Houston. Back to pass Cochran. Cochran down the middle of the field. Knocked away. Incomplete. Swatted by Eddie Gage. The 3rd straight punt for Alaska.
Well, let's give this Houston defense a lot of credit. Ron Cochran doesn't seem to be pressed or pressured at all, but it's the secondary who are just making plays on this receivers. That's what they wanted to do. Their secondary wanted to shut down this very talented receiver group, and they've done so here on the last 2 series.
8:42 left, and Houston playing some impressive football. A long way to go, but Johnson 9 of 11 for 61 yards. The rookie very composed. They have not taken a ton of deep shots, and they've kept them in a bottle, so to speak, but they've let it rip as well too in critical moments.
Well, Cam, how many teams have come in here to Alaska's home stadium, the I, and felt intimidated, not just just by their standings, just the fact that they're undefeated on the season. And Houston's come in and they just seem fearless. They're treating this as it's any other game, and they're working their game plan.
They've won 6 in a row. 1st and 10 at the 28. Johnson fires it outside. That's dropped by Gathers. First drop of the night for either team, brings up 2nd down and 10. And usually Alaska, when they get off to their slow starts, it's because Ron Cochran is having some interception issues. Had it with Mexico City, had it with Las Vegas. But this is the first time in quite some time we've seen Alaska struggling without Cochran struggling.
That's right. And, and I think that bodes well for Houston. Houston's been able to kind of decode what's going on in their secondary, and they have the talented playmakers to make it work.
2nd and 10 of the 28. Johnson actually got his arm hit there by a fullback, it looked like. That's a loss of 1, as that play was all sorts of jumbled up, and this will be the first 3rd and long Houston's had to face tonight.
Well, Murray there on the ground, a little too long for my taste. But, Cam, I think this all started with that first down attempt there to Gathers that failed. In the way that Murray is running, you'd like to run him some more, but they can't. They're pressed into pass at 3rd and 11.
3rd down, Johnson got to get rid of it. Johnson escaping the pocket, fires middle, caught, but he spun and did not get the first down. Tried to spin away from pressure. Heck of a job by Johnson to get away, but Houston falls a yard short again.
Yeah, Bergen's there, actually spins back and does it, in fact, past the first down marker. But that play was all about Kentez Johnson, his legs, his ability to move in the pocket, give his receivers time to get open. But the receiver just made a boneheaded play coming back past the first down marker.
Ooh, both teams with 3 punts in the first half. Big hit there on special teams. Ball down at the 28-yard line, and Cochran comes back out. Already 17 passing attempts. Nordellis, 1 rush for -3 yards, and Williams, the 2-yard touchdown run, his only carry, and does not have a catch tonight on 2 targets.
And Alaska seems very comfortable passing the ball over running it.
Split backs. Cochran going to throw. Cochran short, middle, caught by Julian, and that's an 8-yard gain, and Alaska making one-handed catches look easy.
Yeah, especially when you have a guy like Julian at 6'6", 236 pounds, who's wide open down the middle of the field on a little quick slant. And Cochran just has such a giant passing window to throw to. You can't, it's a pass that you can even make, Cam.
That's now 5 different receivers with at least 2 receptions. Hand off to Nordellis, and he didn't get it. They're throwing me for a loop here. That's Nordellis' 2nd carry as Loveless makes the stop just shy of the first down.
Well, it looks like they want to use Nordellis on the outside runs, Jason Williams there on the inside runs. But on that play, I think Cochran missed an opportunity to check out of that because he had a receiver wide open on the left-hand side.
3rd down and 1. Cochran to throw. Cochran, deep drop. Got it over the defense. There goes Klein down the sideline. 30. Klein with a man to beat breaks a tackle. Gage slowed him down, but Klein all the way to the 6-yard line. 1st and goal, as I couldn't see who ended up making the tackle.
Well, that play was all about Ron Cochran. The feathery touch here to drop it over the defender, and then Klein turns on the Jet 6'4", 225-pounder with that 4.4 speed, able to get the ball into the red zone about 6 yards from a touchdown.
So 1st and goal from the 6 with 6 minutes to go. That was a huge play.
Huge.
The biggest offensive play of the game by either team. 1st and goal at the 6. Cochran out of the gun, going to throw. Cochran looking for somebody on the slants. Now has to go outside, and that pass is dropped and nearly into the arms of a defender. Klein, 4 catches, 7 targets, and a rare drop for number 88.
Yeah, I think Klein, that again, like as you mentioned, we're not used to seeing drops from him, but I think that the ball wasn't delivered as quickly as he had hoped, and he could feel the pressure coming from that Hyenas defense closing in on him.
2nd and goal of the 6. Play action. Cochran floats one up. Oh, it's caught for a touchdown! Robert Merrill, nobody was on him.
Well, the Houston Hyenas once again fall for that play action, despite the fact there's been barely any running game from Alaska. But here, Cam, how many times have we seen a pass like that is lofted towards the middle of the end zone get intercepted, there's just no one there for Houston right in the center of the end zone, and Merrill makes an easy catch.
I thought for sure that was going to be trouble for Ron Cochran, and they just lost sight of Robert Merrill, who did a good job adjusting to the football, ran himself open. And Alaska regains the lead, and Brad Bretchett's extra point is good. 14-7. Woo! Long game to go, partner.
Yes, sir, boy. But let me tell you what, Ron Cochran, nerves of steel. The guy is unshaken by any situation that he's been through. I think it's because he just has the experience. He's been through everything, so nothing really rattles him. Certainly not Houston's pass rush.
Our Cochran 100 bits with the touchdown in the chat. Fed from 3 yards deep in his end zone, will not reach the 20. Cochran 14 of 21, buck 62, 1 touchdown. Johnson 11 of 14 for 70 yards. Murray did not have a carry on the last drive.
Well, Johnson certainly in contention for Rookie of the Year, has the numbers, has the status as a quarterback to earn that honor. This could be where he earns that comeback here in Alaska.
5:39 to go in the first half. Handoff Murray right up the middle, and Murray picks up 2, but an excellent tackle there in the middle by, is that Ryan Tobin?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. 84 tackles on the season, so
Chris Paul.
Big part. Yeah, but at free safety to have 84 tackles, you're getting around the field a lot.
Only one rookie on this Alaska squad. It's Jason Williams. 2nd and 8. Johnson going to throw quickly out to Murray. Oh, Warren Murray gets obliterated by Ryan Davidson, and Alaska defends the flats better than most as they are so fast to the outside.
Cam, did you see the afterburners the 6'4", 205-pound Davidson put on there? I mean, it looked like he had a rocket strapped to his back, and he destroyed Murray.
3rd and 6 at the 22 for Johnson. Houston trying to keep some momentum, back to throw. Johnson quickly down the middle. Wide open Badir. Ajlani breaking tackles all the way down to the Alaska 38-yard line. The quick strike from Kentez, taking Big Sexy out of the game.
And this is what they wanted to do, Cam. They wanted to attack Alaska's secondary deep, specifically at strong safety. They said expect some really big chunk plays down the middle of the field and on those corner routes deep, because they want to take advantage of what they feel is a weakness in Alaska's secondary.
4:18 to go in the first half, and Kentez Johnson's playing his heart out. 13 of 16, $112 now. Out of the gun, they've been gun split backs a lot. It's been pretty successful at the Alaska 38-yard line. Johnson going down the middle again, caught. First down, it's Ajlani again. Now 57 yards on 3 catches near the red zone.
Well, this is a guy who's been outshadowed a little bit by DR Sim, but make no mistake, he is a #1 receiver in his own right. 60 receptions, nearly 1,000 yards, and 6 touchdowns on the season.
Doing a backfield. Johnson going to throw. Johnson looking around for an open receiver. Caught on the sideline by Ajlani. He is on a roll. Down to the 12, and we already saw Mighty challenge 1 and lost it. I don't think he'll challenge there.
Well, certainly Johnson and Ajlani able to really find their connection on this series, and that's great if you're a young quarterback, if you have a special connection with one of your wide receivers and are able to turn to them in big situations like this.
2nd and inches at the 12. 3:27 to go in the first half. 3 receivers for Johnson. Johnson going to throw. Johnson checked down Murray. Got a race to the sticks, and Warren Murray didn't get there. 3rd and 1 at the 13. Obliterated in the backfield.
Yeah, not a fan of the play call there. If you're going to call the number of your running back, let's do it on a run on 2nd and 1 and let him power his way to get that first down for you. Trying to spread everybody out and make that little pass play just hadn't worked for us.
Murray, 3rd and 1, first down, following blockers, breaks a tackle. Murray down to the 6-yard line, running hard on his 9th carry. Houston's drive still alive.
That's why you pay the big fella. That's why he makes the contract and the kind of money that he does for moments like this, where he can convert these critical third downs into first downs and keep the drive alive.
2:40 to go, and every Houston drive is milking clock. This is the 29th play of the drive of the first half for Houston. 2.5 to go. First and goal from the 6. Out of the eye, handoff Murray, running right, nothing. Second and goal. And by the way, Houston has already had 8 third down attempts as you look at Murray's updated numbers.
And we haven't mentioned yet that actually the Storm, they have the number 2 defense in the SFL, allowing opponents only 17 points a game. Houston, if they're able to get in here, nearing that point here just in the second quarter.
Second to go from the 6 on a counter. Warren Murray, and Murray dragging defenders down to the 2. We've reached the 2-minute warning. This is the SFL semifinals, presented by APM Music on the SFL Network on Twitch TV. Nathan Blake on stats. Stephen Mullinex providing analysis. I am Cameron Irvine. Defense chance at the eye. Third and goal from the 2. Goal line defense out. Murray in the backfield with a fullback. Johnson changing the play. Johnson going to audible to a pass. Johnson slant, almost intercepted, and the defender or the offensive player had to play defense there as he ripped it away from Evan Carroll.
And I believe that was 2. Yes, just seeing Clifton. They mentioned it. They want to get him more involved here on third and goal.
Watch
they
him knock
get
this away.
Clifton. They get Clifton out here on this out route, but the 2 receivers run into each other, and so it stops him short of where he needs to be and gives the defender an opportunity to cut in front of him to knock that ball away.
And actually, on second look, Clifton had it, and Carroll knocked it out of his hands. I'm surprised at the way they call touchdowns around here. They didn't just blow the whistle and call it a day. Give them 6 points, but instead it's a chip shot field goal from 19 yards away. And Houston's kick is good. They get points off the drive. Now this next possession is going to be critical. With 1:53 to go, Alaska has 2 timeouts. Houston gets the ball to start the second half, but they really don't want to go into the locker room with no momentum and down 2 scores.
And if you're the Hyenas, I think you got to feel good about that drive, Cam. I mean, you used Warren Murray perfection. Your passing game came alive. The connection between Ajelani and Johnson was very clear. That's something you can build on here in the second half.
On the return, Como up to the 28, 150 left. Watching that play count closely, 31 plays for Houston and 24 for Alaska. It's been pretty even, but usually teams end up in a track meet with the Storm and then can't recover.
Yeah, speaking of track meet here, you got to be careful if you're Houston. Do not let Alaska get in the end zone here with less than 2 minutes to go in the first half.
3 receivers, and look at over to the right. There's nobody on. Yeah, they're wide open. Optimus Klein, first down to the 39. That was a complete mismatch. Only had 1 defender out there in the secondary and 2 different receivers running routes.
Well, let's not forget. I'm sure that Houston hasn't forget as they've challenged this here as whether it's in bounds or not. They've already lost one of these with Klein on the outside out of bounds marker, but Alaska burned Houston deep with Klein on the previous series, so they are probably willing to play back here a little bit more, prevent just to exactly do what it says, prevent a long pass play.
That was a booth review, and I believe it was a catch. And they're going to change the call.
Wow.
Max Paul, he can't believe it, and neither can I. Again, that's the second time that Klein has been called out of bounds.
I don't know what constitutes a sideline catch anymore, Cam.
I don't even care
We're going to be
anymore.
calling for a challenge on every one of those from here on out.
Oh, that's bad for Alaska. 2nd and 10 at the 28. No home cooking, at least right there. 6 in the box for Houston. Back to pass, Ron Cochran. Cochran nearly. Oh, and then a drop. A drop by Optimus Klein again on the sideline. And The officiating and something's got Optimus Klein all shook up. It's 3rd and 10, and there's still 1:43 on the first half clock.
I think you nailed it right on the head, Cam. Klein, we're not used to seeing drops from him. Not multiple drops in the same half for sure. And I think you're right. He's frustrated by what's happening with the officials right now.
4 receivers, 3 to the top of the screen, and again, just 2 there right away, and they throw an out route, and falling down. Did he fall? No, he did fall inbounds. So that's one good thing for the Storm. Jeff Como with the catch, but another punt upcoming. Houston gets the stop. They'll protect their 2 timeouts to try to take the lead before the locker room.
Well, if Como can keep his feet, that's a sure first down for me. And instead, because of the official call, because of the drop, and because he fell down, that's a 3 and out. And now Houston, with probably just a minute left in the game, has an opportunity to maybe get back into field goal range.
You know, he hasn't done much in the stats, but Chad Tackle was getting right in front of Ron Cochran on at this point just about every play, and he is real dangerous there and making Cochran make some decisions early in the play as Fed returns out to the 31-yard line. So 52 seconds left. Houston down 4. They have a chance to get a 2-for-1 here. I would get aggressive.
Yeah, they're on their own 32-yard line. They need to make it to Alaska's 32-yard line to get them around that 50-yard field goal. So they've got to make that up in 52 seconds, and they've got 2 timeouts to do it with.
A combined 17 first downs in the first half tonight. Oh, Warren Murray lost a yard, and I'm surprised at the play call. We're going no huddle here. 2nd and long, 42 seconds. Johnson now going to throw. Johnson fires down the middle of the field, wide open. Caught by Clifton for a first down. Timeout, Houston at the Storm 46-yard line. They may have been testing the waters there on that opening play.
Yeah, now you know why they went to the hurry-up. They saw something in the defense on the previous play that was a run play. They check it into a pass play and find the big tight end over the middle, the area they want to attack.
That's just good offense, right? Got to have variety in your audibles. Pays off for Houston.
They're in enemy territory. They're in the Alaska 46. One more decent medium pass play, and they're in field goal range.
38 seconds to go, first half. 14-10. Houston protecting 1 timeout, down 4. Johnson all day. Johnson got to get rid of it. Has to check it down to Murray. Tremendous coverage by the Storm.
Not a fan of that. Why don't you throw it out of bounds? Save yourself a timeout there.
Point.
Clock's running.
Majesty late to get back on side. Johnson with 19 seconds to go. Going to hand it off to Murray, and this drive is crashing and burning quickly. They got to get into field goal range on this play. Johnson, 8 seconds. Johnson looking around. Deep shot, middle. Caught inside the 20 and a timeout. Houston, they're going to be able to get some points as Lonnie makes another critical catch.
This is a dangerous combination. We've seen take fire here in the second half. Johnson and Agilani, they just seem to be on the same page. And again, deep middle. They really do believe that strong safety spot is a weakness for Alaska, and they have proved to be right here as they'll make a field goal attempt with 4 seconds left.
Agilani now, 5 catches, 67 yards on 6 targets. He's the game's leading receiver, if not for Klein's long run that has 6 more yards in his stat book. 33-yard field goal to make it a 1-point game as time expires in the first half. Good. Houston down 1, and they get the ball to start the second half. What an end to the first half.
And they've taken the excitement out of this Alaska crowd. They're seeing, that there's some chinks in the armor here in Alaska, and there's an opportunity for Houston to get into this game and maybe steal one. 1 second left here on the clock. They'll kick it away.
Yeah, it's actually, I'm surprised. I thought the time had expired, so now Jeff Como gets a chance. And at the beginning of the season, this wreaked havoc on teams, slowed down towards the end, but Como trying to make something happen, and he will absolutely not. Geathers, who dropped that pass in the first half, makes the tackle. 14-13. We've got another tremendous semifinal going on right now. Who takes on Tallahassee next week in the SFL Championship game? The 2K Sports Halftime Report starts right now. First half stats, there they are. Houston outgaining on the field more and keeping a clean sheet.
Yeah, and Alaska's been able to take the lead in this game. It's just a 1-point lead, but doing it primarily through the passing game. Although we're seeing one of their rare runs here to Jason Williams, and he gets the touchdown there. But it was all made possible by the passing game, and I think they just simply trust their stable guy under center in Ron Cochran, who has not looked pressured or worried at all in this game. Houston, they've come in unafraid, Cam. They're not afraid of the 12-0 standings. They're not afraid of what this team did last year, winning the championship. That doesn't matter to them. They're coming out and they're attacking this defense. Here's one of the rare times that Alaska's been able to get a deep chunk play on this Hyena secondary. But again, Cam, I think it bodes well. The Johnson, Agilani, as we're seeing here, connection. They really got it going in that second quarter. If they can continue to do so and take advantage of what they think is a weakness in the Alaska secondary, Houston could quickly take over this game.
Boy, shout out to Houston. They are dominating the chat. They are cackling. Warren Murray, Kentez Johnson, DR Sim, Badira Ajlani, Chad Tackle, Eddie Gage, and more in the chat making it happen. We're back to the eye after these messages. Stay tuned. Start of the second half in beautiful Anchorage, Alaska, and we've been here a time or two, Stephen, this year, as Josh Fed returns up to the 24-yard line, and Houston down one, right in the thick of it, but still a whole half to go.
Yeah, I have to certainly be encouraged by what being able to stay with Alaska offensively, and we saw some really exciting chunk plays out of Houston, and we've seen a stable running game and really been able to keep the Storm offense off the field. Let's see if they continue that trend.
Hand off to Murray, not much there. Murray averaging 3.4 yards a carry, and he's only found really a couple of big lanes a couple of times, and it's second and long, and Houston needs to avoid these.
Yeah, it really hurts you when you're not able to get, any yardage or even negative yardage on a first down run. It just helps to have those 2nd and 6s, 2nd and 7s to get you past the marker.
Second down, 11 at the 23-yard line. DJ Majesty lights up Warren Murray. And it's another loss of one. 3rd and 12, not a good start here to the third quarter for Houston's offense.
Well, you don't think this Storm defense is fired up. They have come out of the locker room with their hair on fire, ready to attack this Houston defense. I think they feel a little embarrassed.
4 wide for Johnson. Pivotal 3rd and 12. Deep shot, incomplete. And boy, Ajlani was in double coverage. He laid out for that one. And that is a real bad 3 and out to start the second half.
Yeah, they said they wanted to attack those deep corner routes. I don't think they were anticipating having a guy like Ryan Davidson back there. helping out and clearly making an impact there with the double team.
Oh, look at that. Blake Chance is in here. Who else did I see in the chat for Houston? Yassine Clifton is here. I mean, their whole team is here tonight. That's one of the best showings I've seen in the chat amongst for a team all season, as they have to punt it away from the 41-yard line. Alaska will start with great field position here in the third quarter with 9:47 to go. Cochran 15 of 24, but has kept a clean sheet with 166 yards. Jason Williams still just one carry.
Cam had an opportunity to talk to Ron Cochran before the game, and he was just really thankful to be in the position that he was in. Said that the team would not be together the way they are without Max Paul. He's really brought these guys together after that championship game to go after the mountain once again.
Ooh, Cochran took a shot but completed it out to Klein, who runs over a teammate. Sixth catch, and that's a pickup of 9 and a heck of a pass. As you look at tackle, crushing Cochran at the end of that play.
Yeah, is that a catch? I mean, I don't know anymore, Cam, but as far as tackle's the kind of guy that he averages a sack a game. So you know that he's going to get his at some point, and you're going to get pressure up the middle. You just got to prepare your interior of your offensive line to hold them off as best as they can. They've been doing a pretty good job, but again, these defenses are fired up.
Surprised Simeon didn't challenge just to get in Klein's head. As Cochran wide open, Jeff Como out to the 40, down to the Houston 38-yard line, and this looks like the first drive for Alaska, surgical for Ron.
Well, this is what we know and have seen out of a Max Paul offense. He is able somehow to scheme wide receivers open on the regular. And there, it was just two receivers, looked like they were going deep, one cut short, and the defense continues to go with the deep decoy.
9:15 left in the third. 1st and 10 at the 38. 3 receivers and 7 in the box. Houston employing a 3-4. And that pass is incomplete, but a late flag. Are they calling PI right there? That is rough. Let's get the call.
They don't call it very often.
Pass interference, number 54.
They are. And it's on. Is it on? That's on linebacker James Smith, and that is a critical penalty.
And that's unfortunate. He did not need to do that simply because Cochran, for maybe the first time tonight, was rushed into that throw because of Houston's pressure. I don't think that was going to be a completion as he threw it into double coverage. But there, a mental mistake by the defender gives Alaska, who doesn't need it, a first down.
They were all over it, and now the ball's in field goal range for Brechet at the Houston 28. Split backs for Cochran. Cochran hands it off to Williams, and Williams breaks a tackle, and Williams picks up 7. And that's what we've seen out of the fullback this year. Definitely going to be in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, and you see a run like that, and you have to think, why haven't we seen more of that tonight? This guy attacks with blunt force trauma, Cam, and he gets those scratch and claw yards. I think that may be the second time we've seen him, and now we're in the third quarter.
Nickel for Houston, 2nd and 3. Play action, Cochran turns the other way. Hit as he threw! Intercepted by Eddie Gage. Houston's pressure forces the first turnover of the night, and Houston gets the stop.
Well, we've seen it in this series. Houston has been getting to Cochran more. I'm not sure if they're just fired up more or the offensive line is just not doing as good of a job, but Eddie Gage, the veteran, you know that he is a ball-hawking safety, has been for many years, and if you lay one up like that, he's going to come down with it.
Both road teams putting up valiant efforts tonight. Mexico City fell short 13-10. Will Houston pull the upset? We'll find out over the next hour or so. 1st and 10 from the 20. 8:33 to go in the third. And Johnson's going deep, and the pass is caught by Arslani. A one-hander, and he's over 100 yards.
Cam, that deep post route has been money ever since the second quarter. It's Houston's. They told us from the beginning they want to attack the deep middle. They think this secondary is soft there, but it took a one-handed effort from Arslani to bring that down in front of the Alaska defender.
8:12 third quarter. 1st and 10 at the 44. Houston now on the move after a bad 3-and-out to start. this second half. 3 receivers, 2 to the left side. 6 in the box for Alaska. Johnson going to throw again. Johnson outside, wide open. Sim turns the corner, first down, breaks a tackle, then gets smashed at the 39-yard line. DR Sims, 4th catch of the night, and Johnson is now 21 of 26. Isn't that what he was last week, Stephen?
He was 22 of 25, so 1 extra attempt here. But, Cam, this is what happens when you attack a certain part of the secondary. It opens up other areas, and there the deep corner route was open and able to get those yak yards as well.
Houston is feeling it. 7.5 to go in the third. Back to pass Johnson. Johnson against some pressure. Picked up. Johnson all day to throw. Sidearm pass caught. First down to the 25-yard line, a 14-yard gain. Kentez Johnson gets a tremendous play out of their offensive front.
Somebody give a golf clap to this offensive line. How many people are able to keep Big Sexy in check there? 2 offensive linemen put him in prison and lock him up. Nobody else can get to Johnson, and he has all day to find that slow developing wide receiver route down the middle.
Fantastic call, Stephen. 1st and 10 at the 25. 7 minutes to go in the third. 1-point game. Houston trying to take the lead. 4 wide, 3 to the left. Blitz off the right side. Pass left caught. Sim, first down to the 14-yard line. Got 5 catches now, nearing 100. And by the way, Badir Aslani now 123 receiving yards on 6 receptions.
Well, it's clear Houston wants to go to Agilani down the middle. They want to go to Sim on the sides. And again, I've said it before, there's something about DR Sim. This guy is magical. He will make plays. 2 on this series where maybe other receivers wouldn't have got the first down. He gets.
Especially in the playoffs. He knows when it is. 1st and 10 of the 14. Handoff Murray. That was somebody's got to investigate Majesty for throwing a punch. He just decked him for a loss of 3.
Yeah, Vontez Burfleck type action there by Majesty. Surely the frustration showing a little bit as Houston is having their way here in the second half.
2nd and 13. By the way, the season high for Aslani is of 139 receiving yards. Nearing that tonight as that pass is caught over the middle to make it a more manageable 3rd down. That's DR Sim again.
And Houston has turned and flipped the script on Alaska and is using their passing-heavy offense. You know, we haven't seen a lot of runs from Warren Murray, something we would expect to see to keep Alaska's offense off the field, but they've been attacking them through the air, and they have found success.
3rd and 6 at the 10. 5:45 to go in the third. Johnson out of the gun. He's 24 of 29. Johnson to throw. Johnson in trouble. Johnson in as he threw. Pass incomplete. Overshot DR Sim as Big Sexy was all over him and forces 3.
Well, you don't think defensive lines matter here in the SFL. You just capture that play and watch that over and over again. If Johnson gets just an extra millisecond of time in the pocket, that's an easy touchdown in the corner of the end zone. Instead, he has to rush the throw because Big Sexy is barreling down on him.
This is another chipper from 27 yards away for Houston. Trying to take the lead, but Alaska holds to 3. Houston just 1 touchdown tonight. Field goal good from officially 26. And now it's 16-14. The Hyenas have a 2-point lead on the road in the third, but Alaska has been the best 4th quarter team in the league this year, no question.
And if you're the Storm defense, they're a minor victory for you to limit them to a field goal. And let's not forget, Alaska on their last offensive series was able to march down and had the ball intercepted in the end zone. So it's not like either offenses are stuttering much. They're just not cashing in. Someone will.
Como driven backwards to the 30-yard line. And boy, doesn't this feel like playoff football, Stephen? We had 13-10 in the first game and 16-14 here in the third with a bunch of nasty hitting going on.
It proves that these teams deserve to be here, Cam. They have fought through all the traffic and all the trash of the regular season brings and have emerged as the 4 top teams in the SFL and have proved it tonight.
Cochran's out of the gun halfway through the third. 1st and 10 at the 30. Cochran all day finds a slow developing Stanley Nordellis, picks up 3. There are the quarterback numbers, and if you didn't know any better, Kentez Johnson would have Ron Cochran's numbers and vice versa.
And let's not forget, those aren't overinflated numbers for Johnson. They ran the ball pretty successfully there in the first half. Alaska really hasn't run the ball at all. So that's just pure passing yards for Alaska. So Houston, really a more balanced and better showing in the passing game.
5 carries, 18 yards for Alaska's run game. Cochran going to throw outside to Nordellis. Nordellis has some space, and then Tyleek Jones nearly threw him all the way into their bench. 3rd and 4, jawing with Lovelace.
And you got to feel that the Storm's offense playing a little conservative here. It's an opportunity for Houston's defense. If they can get a stop here, I think that really helps them with old Uncle Mo and that momentum.
Alaska just 2 of 6 on 3rd down conversions tonight. Cochran gets them 3 of 7. Como, first down to the 45. And Jeff Como comes up clutch again. Could have dropped that, thinking he had too much open field, and instead moves the chains.
And that's exactly why they are undefeated, Cam. They don't feel the pressure. They've been here before. This is old hat to them. And they're just doing what they need to do, going down the field and converting those 3rd downs into 1st down.
Como and Klein now both with each have 6 receptions as Williams picks up 3. That's his first catch out of the backfield, and that's now 6 different receivers with a completion for Cochran.
And I think Williams could have had a lot more on that play, but had to come back a little bit for the pass, and that allowed the defender to get on top of him really quickly.
193 yards and a pick for Cochran, along with a touchdown to Robert Merrill, who has not caught a pass since the touchdown. 2nd and 7 at the 48, 3.5 to go in the 3rd. This drive's taken 2 minutes already, and Williams gets it up to midfield. Another 3rd down coming up, 3rd and 5, as Lovelace makes the stop.
It's interesting to me, Cam, Alaska with the league, they really didn't call Jason Williams' numbers much. And here they're down 2, and now they start to seem like they feel more comfortable using him in the running game, which they haven't. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on offensively there. They might have seen something, but critical 3rd and 5 here.
3rd and 5 at midfield. 2 backs. 7 in the box for Houston. Cochran going to throw. Cochran facing pressure. Cochran got away from it. Dumps it off to Nordellis. Nordellis, 1 man to beat. And Smith, with the pass interference penalty in the first half, makes the stop and forces a punt.
Well, an absolute magic show there by Cochran to get out of that. Somehow with the defender bearing down on him, able to just move his feet ever so slightly to get open, and has to go to his outlet. Unfortunately, that's Nordellis, and he had a defender right on top of him.
Alaska punting again. Fed back to return. I think the Storm probably feel as Fed returns up the 18-yard line that there is all the time in the world in this ball game. It doesn't really feel like Alaska's out of this unless Houston can put some sort of exclamation point in the end zone.
Well, the way the Storm's playing, if I didn't know what the score was, I would feel like they had the lead.
Right.
I mean, that's how comfortable they look. So you've mentioned it before, Cam, that this is a team that excels in the 4th quarter. They've just got the experience and the confidence.
1st and 10 at the 18, 2:22 to go in the 3rd. Johnson going to start the drive of the pass. Johnson with pressure in his face into double coverage, incomplete. That was dangerous. Chris Paul, who made a play earlier in the ball game, makes it happen.
But they want to attack on those deep corner routes, and Alaska's been up to the challenge there where they've really been weak in that deep middle. I won't be surprised if they attack that area here if they get in trouble.
Murray just 44 yards on 16 carries. There's a reason why Johnson's thrown the ball 31 times. Johnson outside, caught by Fed. That's an important catch as it makes it a 3rd and manageable 5. Tobin with the stop.
Yeah, and then suddenly, Cam, these explosive offenses that really started the second half are starting to cool down and get conservative. I think they realize what's on the line, the championship game. So they don't want to make any critical mistakes that they're going to get dogged for later.
1:50 left, 3rd and 5. Gun for Johnson, back to pass. Dominguez almost got some pressure, then got held up, 1st down Fed. It looked like Dominguez got hooked around the upper body that could have called a hold.
And Cam, that's critical in that play call. On those deep outs, you got to have time for the quarterback to sit back there in the pocket and let those routes develop. And that's exactly what this offensive line did. Now, did they horse wrangle Dominguez to get him turned around? possibly, but no flag call.
Well, you put your hands on him, your hand disappears, so you may be able to get away with more than usual. First and 10 of the 35. Dominguez with just one sack tonight. 1:12 to go in the third. Handoff Murray. Warren Murray picks up one to the 37. Clock ticking.
And did you see the look on Dominguez's face there? He was able to bull rush and push the center backwards and make him fall on his back, but it's on a run play. So the running back just goes right by him. I think that's been what Houston's plan has been in this game, is to kind of try to neutralize Dominguez when they can.
2nd and 9, 45 seconds, third quarter, and an unblocked man. That's Hernandez, the strong safety they've been trying to attack all night. Coming up, making the stop for no gain. Warren Murray has been riddled, completely ineffective here. About 2.5 yards a carry now, 3rd and long.
Yeah, now what pressure on the quarterback, the rookie quarterback under center. Well, now in the shotgun, not under center. Can he make this 3rd down conversion?
They've been killing him out of this gun with 2 in the backfield tonight. Johnson, middle! Oh, he caught it! Josh Fed! The one-hander over the middle!
Coach Damon Simeon told you he loves this guy Fed, and this is the reason why. In a sea of blue jerseys, goes up, brings it down with one hand. That guy's name is not Sim. That guy's name is not Agilani. That is Fed, and don't you forget it.
End of the third. We're back. After a word from the SFL, logo tees, and I just remember this game's so excited, I just remembered we forgot to talk about our sponsor at the half. We'll be back after this. APM Music is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com and visit their all-new esports landing page to find the best highlight music, heroic action, and epic sounds to boost the quality of your esports stream just like us. Log on to forum.apmmusic.com/esports for more information. APM Music, production music library and custom music house. The SFL is teaming up with Fuel for the championship game. The Simulation Football League presented by APM Music is proud to work with Bit Central Inc. for the climactic finish of the SFL's 11th season, the SFL Championship game. Bit Central's Fuel platform revolutionizes the way users and fans watch content online and is expected to be a significant contributor to SFL's ongoing success. We are so excited to start a journey with Bit Central and Fuel. Fuel is such an incredible platform for traditional sports and esports, and we intend to showcase it all it can do leading up to the championship game. It is relationships such as these that can benefit both companies who are growing, looking for proof of concept in new spaces, and both have something to offer to a wide variety of businesses and bases. Fuel creates playlists relevant to players and teams participating in the championship game, through the postseason showcasing the high volume of short-form video content produced seamlessly from one segment to the next. Its advertising capabilities allow the league to generate revenue, and the league hopes someday these tools can help users more easily watch ads for bits or support the league in general throughout the year. Using Fuel technology, the SFL will be more easily able to create game highlight reels, player-specific highlight reels, top 10 plays, the SFL Blitz, and new pieces of content that will directly tie to the Bits Give Back program. The SFL and Bit Central look forward to expanding their relationship, allowing users to watch games in a more seamless way, and provide SFL users and fans 24/7 content on their favorite teams, seasons, or topics. Bit Central appreciates the opportunity to play a vital part in this year's championship season. Putting the power of Fuel together with the excitement building in esports today is a great combination sure to create ripples throughout sports and entertainment industries, says executives of Bit Central. The SFL Championship game for Season 11 will become the the APM Music SFL Championship game powered by Fuel. We're back to Alaska, the fourth quarter after this. Here we go, 11 minutes to go. Houston not only trying to beat Alaska for the first time, but take down an undefeated Storm team. 2 backs and 2 receivers for Kentez Johnson. 1st and 10 at the 49. Handoff to Murray, lost a yard. Stephen, what do you think about this whole Bit Central stuff?
Well, I want to welcome Fuel to the SFL family and just happy to have them along as a sponsor. I can't wait to see, I think, the potential of what that means for us as a league and what that means for our players and our product all together.
Murray now 45 yards on 19 carries. 2nd down and 11. Johnson, look at the time. Johnson deep, incomplete. Clifton almost hauled that in on his way down. 3rd and long again.
Well, if I'm Houston's offensive coordinator, I'm telling my rookie, don't think about what's on the line. Just play the game that you've played since you were 6 years old. Grip it and rip it, son. Grip it and rip it.
27 of 35, 294 yards, no picks tonight for the rookie, although does not have a touchdown either. They go trips to the right from under center. Dime 3-2 look for Alaska, 10.5 to go in the fourth, 16-14. Johnson to throw. Johnson, deep shot to Sam! Knocked away and incomplete. 4th down, Hyenas will punt.
How many times, Cam, have we seen Sim make a play like that just changes everything in the postseason? They're on the fade route. Just a great job by the Storm defenders to stay with him. But he had a step or two, some separation. If Johnson throws that out just a little bit further, that's 6.
Oh, man, 10:26 to go. And the margin is pretty slim right now as Alaska they had a 24-point comeback in the second half and most of it in the fourth quarter. As that return is up to the 20-yard line. They've had the game last week where they were down a touchdown, scored the last 2 to beat Sioux Falls in the fourth quarter, and both of those games are at home, and they've had plenty of others this season where it's gut check time and they answer the bell.
Well, if you're Houston, you're certainly not comfortable with a 2-point lead, especially in Alaska against an undefeated Storm team. But your defensive line made a difference on the previous series. Can they do it again?
4 wide, 3 DBs up on the line, 6 in the box. Play action. Cochran quickly throws outside, caught Klein. No, they said he was out of bounds. This is unbelievable, Steven.
And it's that same play, Cam, that we've seen over and over again, and just that timing there with Klein. I think he's making those catches, and apparently Alaska agrees with me.
Mighty is beside himself here. You got to challenge this. You got to put somebody in their place, or at least try to. That's a timing play, Steven, right? Like, they know that they're not going to run the ball, but it's all about rhythm and timing. And again, Klein, this is the 3rd time we've looked at this. He got 2 feet in bounds that time. Ridiculous.
I'm not sure what OR62 is seeing.
Oh, and Max Paul says it's about bleeping time. Good night.
Right,
Good
and
night.
what does that do, Cam, for the confidence of Optimus Klein now? This is a guy that we don't see rattled ever, and he's got 2 drops in this game. Is it because of these referee calls, and now that he gets one under his belt, does that boost his level of play?
FCC almost fined me there. 2nd and 1 at the 28.
Got it.
Back to pass, Cochran. Got a check down, waited just a little bit longer to find Julian for the first down of the 37. Great patience from Ron, his 24th completion.
And Houston, you're not getting the same push from your defensive lineman that you got on the previous series, and you just can't give a veteran like that kind of time. He's going to find somebody open.
Along with Nathan Blake, who's doing a phenomenal job on stats. Stephen Mullinex, I am Cameron Irvine here in the SFL semifinals as Cochran's pass is caught on the sideline, pick up a 4. And Damon Simeon saying, I want to challenge that so bad. Como with the catch, and Jeff Como now with 7 on the day, tying himself with Klein and a host of Houston role-playing receivers who have 68 yards on 7 grabs.
Yeah, and Alaska finding themselves maybe in unfamiliar territory here, down in the fourth quarter. Are they able to put something together? It's a big run, nearly gets them a first down.
Nice job by Williams. 5-yard gain out of the Alaska 46 makes the third down conversion a lot more manageable. 17 first downs for Houston, 11 for Alaska. They converted their last third down.
Let's give it to the big fella again and see if he can rumble for another first down.
Williams is off the right. 3 receivers, bottom of the screen, and a dime look for Houston. Haven't seen that much tonight. 9 minutes left. Cochran going to throw. Cochran, quick slant. Como, first down. Houston backed everybody off, and Cochran took the easy play.
Yeah, Cam, if I see a dime on 3rd and 1, I'm checking down to a run, but Cochran knew that he had that little quick slant that he could go to, and he finds it, and there's just nobody even within nearly 10 yards of him.
6 in a box. 8:35 to go in the fourth. 1st and 10 now in Houston territory. They only need 3 to take the lead. Cochran's pass outside Klein. First down. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Pickup of 6 to the 42-yard line. It's such a routine play for Alaska that I got in a rhythm there.
Yeah, and they continually find Klein open on those short out routes off the play action. You got to think at some point, maybe off of play action, they'll look deep and not settle for something that maybe the refs will call out of bounds.
Johnson 27 of 36. Cochran 27 of 37. Almost identical. 2nd and 4 with 8:15 to go in the fourth. Down 2. Handoff Williams. And Williams breaks a tackle. Gage couldn't bring him down, and that's a first down. What a run for Williams.
Yeah, I love that name. Williams, the big fullback. I mean, this is exactly why Alaska decided, at the beginning of the season to invest in the fullback position. They want a guy that can get those hard-running, hard-nosed yards just like that.
Nearing field goal range. 7:47 to go in the fourth. Cochran escapes, caught. Como, pickup of 8, now in field goal range. Como leads the team with 9 catches for 69 yards.
And I've always called Cochran a rhythm passer. And once he starts to get in the rhythm, boy, it's almost as if he just sees every wide open receiver, doesn't rush the pass, doesn't feel rushed, just gets the ball into his receiver's hands cleanly.
3-3 out of Houston's D. Time ticking. 7:15 to go. Fourth quarter. Play action. Cochran down the middle. Caught. Official almost got in the way. Now down to the Houston 12. That pass complete for the first time tonight to Jose Galeano.
Well, they've been running this play action and throwing it out on the short out to Klein all night. Here, they take that chance down the middle as Houston's probably looking to the outside instead of in the middle for that pass off a play action.
Eddie Gage on the tackle. Down to 6:50 to go. Houston trying to get another goal line stand. They haven't done it here tonight. Cochran, all kinds of time, dumps it off Nordellis, and look at the Houston defense. They were in the right place at the right time as that tackle was made by number 20, Alan Ball.
And as you mentioned, Cam, the fourth quarter, the Storm revel in this final quarter. Down 2, in field goal range, 8 yards away from getting in the end zone and taking a nice lead here in a tight game.
3 to the left. 6:11 left. Cochran to throw. Cochran going back corner. Incomplete. Broken up by Ryan Michaels, who came in just in time. Third down.
Ryan Michaels, 7 interceptions on the season, Cam. Not someone you want to test, but one-on-one with Klein, these two match up really well. Ryan Michaels, 6'3", Klein, 6'4". Similarly sized, one-on-one. Let's put the ball up and see who comes down with it.
3rd and 8 at the 10. 6:08 to go in the fourth quarter. 4 receivers, 3 to the right for Alaska. Cochran to throw. Cochran quickly outside. Did not get the first down. They're going to have to bring out Brechet with plenty of time left in the ball game.
You're absolutely right, Cam. Big win for this Houston defense, able to keep Alaska out of the end zone, force them to try this field goal attempt that'll give them the 1-point lead, but more importantly, It allows the Houston offense not to have the pressure to have to go and score a touchdown. They can get a field goal and come away with a win.
5:50 left. This is a 22-yard field goal that would give the Storm a 1-point lead. 22-yarder. Good from Brechet. 17-16. Back and forth we go after Tallahassee beat Mexico City 13-10 in the first semifinal.
And you know what? Brechet, that is his actually, he is 97% for the season, 28 of 29. Only missed one field goal this season and a chip shot there for them, but still a high-pressure chip shot.
Brechet, kick it, 5:41 in the fourth quarter. 1 yard deep, Fed. He's had a fantastic night. Fed out to the 22. And now, if I'm Houston, Ajlani is 16 yards away from tying a season high. He's been a little bit empty here recently. I'm looking for him or, well, I mean, hey, look, I mean, to be quite honest with you, all three options are good options tonight for Houston.
I don't know, Cam. I think the Hall of Famer, DR Sim, you know, this is the time. This is when he stepped up in the past.
Murray picks up 3. Majesty on the tackle, had a punch earlier, and Warren Murray's been locked out for most of the night.
Cam, this is the moment where legends are made in the SFL. Right here, right now, just at the 5-minute mark here in the fourth quarter, down by 1 against an undefeated team. Johnson, a rookie under center, can make his name tonight. 2nd
and 7. They're going to hand it off to Murray again, and Murray is stuffed. Interesting back-to-back runs here. Man, I don't know. Johnson has been playing so well.
All I can think is they're trying to lull Alaska a little bit into thinking that they know that, but they know this is not going to be a run on 3rd and 7. So I'm not sure what happened there, but just not successful.
3-2. Johnson out of the gun. Johnson changing the play. Johnson going outside. Got to turn the corner, and Ajlani fell over. 4th down with 4:36 to go. Got to punt it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, Cam. It's just too much time on the clock. Everybody's got their timeouts. Your defense allowed Alaska to march down the field, though, on the previous offensive series. They've got to get a stop here if they want a chance to make it to the championship game.
4:36 left. I mean, heck, even if they give up a touchdown, it's still a 1-score game. But obviously, I think the number one priority for Houston is just get the ball back. However you can, just get the ball back. Don't let Alaska do what Tallahassee did in the first game, which was run out the clock with about this much time left to go. You got to be weary and careful of that with 4:29 left. Here comes Ron Cochran, 31 of 42, but just for 260, which is below his average.
Yeah, the number one quarterback in the league in completion percentage, 76%, just amazing. Number 2 in passing yardage. This guy is already a legend.
4:29 left in the fourth. Back to pass, Cochran. Cochran looking around. Caught. Jeff Como at the 48-yard line moves the chains.
And it just seems really clean, Cam. It doesn't seem rushed. They have that 1-point lead, but they're very comfortable in this position. As we've said, it hasn't been a dominating performance all season from Alaska. They have had to really be like a workhorse team and workmanlike in order to get some of these victories, and it's really just been preparing them for moments like this.
1st and 10 at the 48, down to 4 minutes to go. We'll see if Alaska tries to tick any more time off. Down to 12 on the play clock. Looks like they're going that direction. Houston needs a stop, and they need one quick. Back to passes, Cochran. Cochran fires near side. Oh, it's almost picked, and then out of bounds is Merrill. Stops the clock, but got another first down to the Hyena 41. That could have been it.
Oh, Booth, please give us a replay. I want to see how close that was, but what a great job by Merrill to keep the concentration, Camp, with the defender flashing in front of you, to still be able to bring that ball in, realize where you are on the field, and get the first down.
Merrill's first catch since his touchdown in the second quarter. 1st and 10 at the Hyena 41-yard line. 3:48 to go in the fourth. Cochran going to throw again. Perfect on the drive. Out to Giuliano, and it's a pickup of 4 to the Hyena 37, but it does stop the clock again. Houston has got to get off the field or give up points or something. Just need the ball back.
I would love for Alaska to run right now, Cam. Run some of this clock. Get at minimum, get in the field goal range. Make sure that Houston has to get in the end zone to win this game. But the way that their game plan has been going, they've been passing like 90% of the time.
2nd and 6 at the 37. Clock stops with 3:44 to go. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. They listen to you. Williams got the carry, but only for 2. It would be a 51-yarder for Brechet. And with a 1-point lead, if they don't make the 4th down and don't get any more yardage, I would punt.
Well, I'm putting the ball into Cochran's hand right here. He's been clutch for you all season, been clutch for you in this game, clutch on 3rd down. Maybe do one of those play actions and get something decline out there on the left.
3rd and 4 from the 35. Look at the space at the top of the screen. They're going to hand it off to Williams. Williams got a 1st down. I don't think Houston was expecting it. Gets it to the Hyena 26-yard line, and at this point, Houston's just got to do whatever they got to do to get off the field.
Well, I certainly wasn't expecting it. Cam in Alaska hasn't been running the ball. They've been running it successfully when they've given it to Williams, though, especially converting on 1st downs and getting it to the end zone. And here, you give your bruising back an opportunity to use that shoulder of mass destruction to get the 1st down.
Now, one more play before the 2-minute warning here for Alaska, assuming they don't run out of bounds. 2:45 left, not leaving Kentez Johnson a lot of time, if any. 2:40, down to 10 on the play clock. Boy, both Alaska and Tallahassee with blood-sucking drives late in the 4th. Cochran going to throw. Cochran looking near side, caught inbounds. That benefits Alaska. Robert Merrill picks up 8 more, and the clock continues to run.
And they'll probably let this run down to 2 minutes. Let's remember this, even if the Storm get into the end zone, Cam, it's still likely going to be a 1-score game if Houston needs to maybe even use a 2-point conversion.
2nd and 2 with the 17. They don't have to snap it here.
Shouldn't.
And they won't. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. A dramatic semifinal evening. Who plays Tallahassee next Monday? Oh, Houston, that close. 2 minutes left. Out of the dime, 4 receivers. 2nd and 2. Cochran to throw. Cochran fires outside. Caught. 1st down, stops the clock at the 12.
Well, it stops the clock, something you don't want to do, but it converts the 1st down. So you just take that. I'd say run the ball. The one thing Alaska cannot do, they cannot afford to turn the ball over. And throwing the ball this close to the end zone compresses that talented Houston secondary and puts more of those defenders in areas where they can pick the ball off. I fully expect the Storm to run.
If I'm Alaska, I win the game if I get that ball in between the 2 and the goal line. That's my goal. Play action for Cochran. Cochran's pass. Oh, boy, nearly threw a pick. As coming out of nowhere was a Houston defender on Nordellis. That stops the clock, Steven, on 2nd down.
And will it at least scare Alaska into running the football and running more time off this clock? I'm not sure it will. As you mentioned, they want to win this game now. They want to get past that 1st down marker, and if they do, they can do that.
Chad Foxwell makes the play, but now with Houston having all 3 timeouts, the likelihood that they get the ball back is pretty strong. Cochran steps up and is sacked! 3rd and 15 and a timeout for Houston. Chad tackle again.
Well, this defensive line, they've been sleeping for a little while here. Finally break through, which has been a really good effort by this Alaska offensive line and tackle. We talk about big stars coming up in big moments. That might be the biggest moment of his career if they can turn this one around.
3rd and 15. And now you almost have to pass because you can't lose the game giving up a touchdown with this much time left. 3rd and 15 at the 17. Cochran gonna run to Williams. And what they do is they force Houston to burn a timeout. But what do you think of that, Stephen?
No, I actually was going to disagree with you. I thought they should run. They can't. You're not gonna probably gonna convert that 1st down. If you're going to throw it
that's
into
a
the
good
end zone,
point.
there's a high probability of an interception or takeaway. Run the ball. If Jason Williams breaks it and gets into the end zone, you win. He doesn't. You get your field goal. You're up by 4.
Yeah, I still think, though, you don't try to score there. You try to get the ball inside the 2, and maybe they thought Williams would have a better chance. Low snap. Brechet's kick is good. Interesting strategy, but now the rookie has a chance to do what no other Houston quarterback, Steve Abwaji, Courtney Coleman, name them all off, Steven. There's been so many that have come through Houston.
Who else is there? Goodness gracious, you put me on the spot here. Christian Christensen, Matt Wilson.
Well, you're talking about other quarterbacks that haven't beaten Alaska. I'm talking about all the quarterbacks that for Houston have never been able to beat this team, because there's been a lot of those too. As Fed turns out of the 19-yard line. And shades of, Alaska certainly doesn't want this, but remember, Josh Fed was on that Houston Hyena team that went to Louisville and on the final drive upset the Wolfpack, who at the time were the number 1 seed.
This is the time to be magical, Cam. This is the time that I really do believe DR Sim shows up.
Got a Hall of Famer on the field. 4 wide, 1st and 10 of the 19. Johnson going to throw. Johnson fires middle, incomplete. Into a mess of traffic, looking for Sim. 2nd down, and that may be a rookie trying to force it to the legend right there.
Right, and undoubtedly 4-down territory. You do have 1 timeout. You just got to be really strategic about where you use it. I wouldn't even think about using it until you're in Alaska's side of the field, if they can get there.
Chat looking for a flag on pass interference, and they may have a case. The officiating has been just a mess tonight. 2nd and 10 at the 19. 1:34 to go. Johnson going to throw. Johnson outside. Has a wide open receiver. 1st down. 30-35. Out of bounds. They said he didn't get out of bounds. At the 37-yard line. That was Barry Bergens with the catch.
Bergens, redemption for his previous 1st down muffle.
Fed, 1st down to the 48-yard line on the same play and gets out of bounds with 1:15 to go.
Well, Cam, you know what? Getting out of bounds, I don't know if that benefits Houston at this point. They have 2 back-to-back hot plays, keeping Alaska in that defensive set. So now Alaska gets to come in and recall a defense, and Houston has to come in and try to continue their streak after what was essentially a timeout for a second.
1 timeout of the Hyena 48. They go gun 4 wide. 3-2 look. Dominguez with just 1 sack tonight. 1 timeout for Houston. Trying to get the upset and get back to the championship game. Johnson. Oh, it's dropped. He was wide open over the middle.
Yeah, that hurts you, but it doesn't kill you, Cam. That was on a 1st down. You've still got 3 downs to get this 1st down. You're knocking on the door of Alaska territory. And let's not forget, you got a rookie under center in probably the highest pressure situation he's ever been in here in the SFL.
That's why you got to take advantage of every opportunity. Johnson, 30 of 41, 329, no touchdowns, no picks. Johnson to throw, 2nd down. Johnson deep middle, cut! Ashlani a season high!
Hurry up to the line, spike the ball to get the next play off.
1 minute left. Johnson not going to spike it, staying in it. Johnson outside. Get out of bounds, Murray. You got to get out of bounds. Oh, man, lost a yard.
And the time continues to tick, tick, tick.
2nd and 11, 35 yards away from a huge upset, 42 seconds to go. Johnson out to Murray again. Got to get out of this. Got to call the timeout. What a mess. Houston's got 3rd and long, and they did the right thing there, calling that final timeout.
So you're on the Alaska 35-yard line. You're 3rd and 11. Priority has to be to get the 1st down and to get out of bounds to stop this clock. They don't have any more timeouts. You don't need to take a shot in the end zone from this far away.
4 wide. Sim isolated at the bottom. Kentez out of the gun, the rookie. 38 seconds, 3rd and 11. 4 down territory. Johnson. Oh, he's caught! What a throw to the 17 to Sim!
It's that magic man again, Cam, coming up big. Will they go right back to him here in the end zone? Let's see.
Johnson, end zone! Incomplete, looking for Ajlani. Davidson knocks it away. 21 seconds left.
They have put themselves in perfect position, Houston has, Cam. They can take shots in the end zone now. That's going to pull back Alaska's defense. Maybe Houston's able to get something short and out of bounds.
Second down. Eslani, a season high. Sim, 92 yards on 7 catches. 21 seconds. They're going to need Johnson's first touchdown pass, likely, if they're going to win. To pass, Johnson. Johnson in trouble. Check to Murray. That's going to run a lot of clock. 12 seconds. Oh, no. They're getting up and spiking it. This could be the last play. 6-5. And they got time for one more play. What a disaster as Johnson couldn't find anybody downfield.
But for viewers, wonderful. Houston's season comes down to one play, Cam. And Alaska's season as well, possibly. One play to determine who goes to the championship game. You can't ask for anything better at the end of one of these contests.
Wow. They're going 4 wide. 5 seconds. This is the ball game to knock off the undefeated Storm. The closest anybody's come this season. Johnson out of the gun. Snap back. Johnson. End zone. Incomplete. Ball game. It was 4th down.
Well, Cam, I mean, that's what this has all led to. Johnson able to bring it down the field, and his inexperience there at the end, trying to get it to the Hall of Famer. We talked about how magical Sim is, but Alaska knows it too, and able to get just enough of disturbance there in front of Sims. You know, honestly, if Sim caught that ball, I'm not sure if he falls in the end zone.
And we have our rematch.
Wow.
And both escaping by the slightest of margins. And the 14-0 Storm do it again. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a game.
An absolute terrific game and a great way to preface our championship game and really set these two Titans up to meet once again in the octagon that is the SFL championship game. But boy, you got to give your hats off to Kentez Johnson, the rookie quarterback. Showed the poise of a 10-year veteran tonight. Able to really pull his team there on that last series within one play of getting to the title game. Heart breaks for them to be so close. And for the Storm, you survived one here in the playoffs.
And if I'm both of these teams tonight, I was incredibly humbled. Because Houston and Mexico City played their hearts out. And these are definitely not, you know, it may be our first ever championship rematch, but both of these teams have faced test after test after test down the stretch.
Yeah, and it doesn't say anything about the parity in this league. That obviously these 4 teams, they asserted themselves in front of the rest. And we saw tonight just how close each one is to one another. One play in the prior game, one can play in this game, could have changed who the victor was. So it was that close tonight.
36 of 47, 301 yards, and 1 touchdown, 90.8 QBR rating. Wow. Unbelievable. And you know, and you know, when you say in the chat that it's rigged, that really just pisses me off. Because we're working our ass off out here, and man, it just kills me. But not going to let that bring down a fantastic night.
I don't know how anybody can see this game and say that. I mean, clearly each team had an opportunity to take control. And yes, you know, some of the referee calls were suspect, but those went against Alaska for the most part. So, an absolute joke. There's nothing rigged here, and you're really devaluing how much these coaches and these players progress their players. These coaches plan and scheme. You're devaluing them and saying they don't matter when they absolutely do.
Well, anyway, let's get to a championship game preview, and what a fantastic championship game we expect this to be. The rematch, the first rematch in 5.5 years, and both of these teams have taken some lumps. Alaska hasn't lost since, what was it, March? And they have been, so many teams have been so close. And don't you think, Steven, that more than anybody, Tallahassee wants to be the team to take him down after Max Paul just out-schemed him in the title game?
Yeah, certainly. I'm sure that Frank Gooden and his Tallahassee team were embarrassed by their performance in the championship game after coming off their own undefeated season, Cam. But this is a very different Tallahassee team. They do still have those 4 defensive linemen that can get you and get a ton of sacks and get a lot of pressure on you. But offensively, they are more of a running team, where they were a primary passing team last season. So they're going to have a whole different approach. So I expect to see a whole different outcome in this game. Now, whether Alaska's on top or Tallahassee's on top, I don't know that. But I do know that Tallahassee's going to attack Alaska in a different way than they did in last year's championship game.
And now Alaska gets to host, and they have been scared by Las Vegas, Sioux Falls, Houston, but this is just an impenetrable fortress, and we're checking it here right now, but I don't believe, this will be Tallahassee's first trip to Alaska ever.
Wow.
And only the second time these two teams will have ever met, the last being the SFL championship game when Alaska beat Tallahassee 34-23. And some final stats tonight: Kentez Johnson, 35 of 48, 362 yards. Warren Murray, 48 yards, 21 carries, did basically nothing. He was wrapped up, although did have a beautiful touchdown run. 2 catches, 30 yards for Clifton. He was quiet. Sim, 7 for 92. Ajlani, 8 for a season high of 143. Maybe a career high, too. We're going to have to check that. On the defensive side, 1 sack for Chad Tackle, but plenty of hurries, and a pick and 2 pass deflections for Eddie Gage. For Ron Cochran, 36 of 48, 303 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Nordellis, 3 carries, 9 yards. Williams, 8 for 38 and 1 touchdown, and had some key runs late that forced Houston into that hurry-up 2-minute offense. For the receivers, Optimus Klein, 9 catches, 103 yards, did not score. 15 targets, 5 catches, 50 yards, a touchdown for Merrill. Jeff Como, 10 for 83. Nordellis, 5 of 12. Williams, 1 of 3. And defensively, just 1 sack for Alex Dominguez. Majesty, 2 tackles for loss. Evan Carroll, 3 pass deflections, including the last that stole the game away. And what else can you ask for, Steven? It's not like he checked it down on the last play. Johnson put it to the end zone. What else? What more can you ask for?
Yeah, he did check it down on the previous play, though, and it cost him time. But they still had enough time to spike the ball and get that one final play. But, I'm sure Houston is thinking if we could just get one more opportunity to get it a little bit closer. And I'm thinking Ajlani down the middle, because that was money all game for them. And then they just seemed to go away from that. And I would love to have seen it there on that last play, because they really found something there in this Alaska secondary tonight. But, boy, just a heartbreaker, but certainly an entertaining game to watch.
Championship prep begins now. Alaska hosts Tallahassee in a 1-2 battle for the ages 14-0 versus 12-2, which is, ironically, Stephen, the exact same record last year, except Tallahassee was the unbeaten. Can Tallahassee flip the script on Alaska coming up next Monday? Nathan Blake, phenomenal job on stats, and to our whole live stat team. Couldn't do it without you. And for anybody sitting on the sidelines wanting to help the SFL, that is a brilliant way to go. Look out for new short-form content on Fuel through Bit Central, our new partner announced tonight, coming up throughout the week, as for the first time you'll see the greatest plays and some of the top plays from actual individual players, which we've never had before, and we're looking to further that partnership in the future. For Nathan Blake, Stephen Mullinex, I am Cameron Irvine. This has been a presentation of the SFL Network on Twitch TV, presented by 8 p.m. Music from the Eye in Anchorage, Alaska. We'll see you back here next Monday. Good night.
Well, goodbye, Cam.
Goodbye.